They also did a lobby week and got a massive amount of press, and we actually had senators calling and asking the day of, when they heard all these clean tech, clean business leaders were running around Capitol Hill, they were calling and asking for meetings if they didn't already have them, which in Washington it doesn't happen. The senators, they don't ask for meetings generally. They don't like to be told what to do and asked what to do, but they were really excited about the clean technology companies. What also struck us during this discussion was that even in a teeny state like Delaware, the members of the senator's office had no idea of all the energy efficiency and renewable energy jobs that had already been created and what companies were doing in his own state. So there's more of a dialogue that we need in the United States between clean tech businesses in Washington to understand these are real jobs and that they have the potential to grow, and they're already in place. So really what we're looking for from government and from law is for government to set the rules and to be a partner with business, to create this new technology, to create this new industry so America can create new jobs. And really this is something we should be collaborating on with China. What are the best laws? What are the best policies and incentives for these new technologies? And business has a role to play to educate governments and to show, is the technology ready, at what price, how quickly can we move? Business, what we're hearing from clean tech companies is that a national cap and trade program would have been, and still would be, the most efficient and effective way to help drive private investment into clean energy. Having a long-term plan for a cap and trade program, ratcheting down emissions over time, would have given investors and businesses the kind of signals that they need from laws and regulations to make investments in growing these economies. Going forward, though, in the next year or so, we're focused on things that we think we can move, and right now cap and trade is not one that looks politically feasible, but we're going to continue to work to educate members of Congress on why it's still the best business answer, and talk about energy efficiency. This is about American competitiveness and saving people money in their homes. The stimulus bill that we passed had billions of dollars in weatherization, which focuses on the poorest people in the country in the United States and making their homes more energy efficient. These are people whose energy bills are often half of their income, and these weatherization efforts to caulk your windows and doors, replace your windows, or wrap your heating for your hot water, those are very low cost, and they reduce your energy bills by 30% is on average. And so that can make a huge difference for people. So increasing opportunities to invest in energy efficiency is what we're going to focus on, because it makes sense in a time of economic hardship. There is some momentum around putting in place a requirement for electric companies to produce a certain amount of their energy from renewable energy and other clean technologies. People are arguing about whether that includes nuclear or not. That's going back and forth. And then finally, can government step forward and help get private investors to bring money to the table by helping to give them new financial guarantees and protections, loan guarantees. There's other financial mechanisms that government can do. So all this in the legislative arena. But fundamentally what we need in America, and I would say all around the world, and in Slovenia, is leadership. This is actually a series of quotes by Senator Lindsey Graham, who was a Republican senator from South Carolina, who stepped forward and said, we want action on climate change. And he said, you know, the lesson from healthcare, if the lesson is let's not do anything hard, then why don't we just go home? But if we go home, China won't. And he talked about every day we delay, China uses to dominate the clean economy, the green economy. And it was quite graphic down at the bottom about talking about certain types of energy bills that didn't have the right things involved to help American businesses in creating this new clean economy. But this is all true. I had colleagues of mine who ran into some of the Chinese delegates in Copenhagen, and they took a taxi together late one night, and they were laughing when they were asked, what do you think about America and our approach, and saying, look, it's great when you delay on action on climate change. We just get to keep investing in clean tech, and we believe even though you guys are ahead of us and have historically been ahead of us, that we're going to quickly catch up. And that was only less than a year ago, and they've already surpassed us in manufacturing of new technologies. So, but, being said, I love my country, and we do care. And so I wanted to air just one last ad, and you'll get the idea the sound doesn't matter that much on this one. It's a new ad, and it really is about values. And what is this about? What is it about protecting the environment? What is it about that we care about? What does it say about us as a country, as people, as individuals, as humans? So let me just do a one Thursday night football in the United States. So very interesting. They were airing this once you see this. And that's an ad for the Nissan Leaf, which is a 100% electric car. And I just found it really astounding that this ad is working, that it's really working. So to me, that says Americans do care and they can be touched by their heart, and that this is a value that we can act on with law. That's it.